One of the big questions now is what, if any, punishments will the so-called Big Six face? What's going to happen to them? This man knows. Rob Dorsett joins us this evening. Rob, good evening. What are they in for?
Well, Jim, we don't entirely know yet, and I need to stress this is an incredibly complicated situation from the Premier League's perspective, because all of their rules and regulations are based on the 20, the voting rights of the 20. And if there's one club that's done something wrong, they're in the dock, the other 19 get a vote on it. But in this situation, it's not like that. You've got 6 clubs in the dock. So it's a much more complicated situation. Now, the Premier League and their communications team, they don't want to talk to us at all at the moment, and I completely understand why. It's a very sensitive situation for them. But I've spent the last couple of days looking through the rules and regulations in the Premier League about what might happen here. 700 pages of them, by the way, in the Premier League handbook, Jim. That was fun. And what I've come to the conclusion is that the Premier League board is going to have the biggest say in what sanctions, if any, are brought against these 6 clubs. Now, they might introduce a judicial panel or a disciplinary commission as well to look at this, and that is always headed up by a QC as well. And it's pretty clear in the rules and regulations that there is no limit to the punishments that can be meted out. It could be expulsion from the league at one end. Now, we don't expect that to happen. I've been speaking as well to people who have been talking to the 14 clubs that are involved in this, and unlike La Liga, who you heard from there, and Serie A, who don't want any punishments, they've said there will be no punishments against the Italian and the Spanish clubs who were part of this breakaway plan. That's not how the bulk of the 14 other Premier League clubs feel, I understand. They do want there to be some punishments, and they want those punishments to be targeted at the executives and the owners of the Big Six who tried to drive this Super League through. And there are 2 rules that they've picked out which they think the 6 have fallen foul of. An awful lot of regulations and rules in that Premier League document. Rule B16, though, states, in all matters and transactions relating to the league, each club shall behave towards each other club and the league with the utmost good faith. So the 14 think the 6 are guilty of that. They've breached that rule. And they also think they've breached Rule L9, which states that, except with the prior written approval of the Premier League board, no club shall enter or play its senior men's first team in any other competition than the Champions League, the Europa League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Community Shield, etc. So those are the 2 regulations that they think they've fallen foul of. What happens next is very difficult to say. As I say, the Premier League board will have a big say in it, and so will the 14 clubs. They had a Zoom meeting today, lots of Zoom discussions between them to discuss this issue. I expect more of those discussions to happen over the coming days. And as I say, they do want some punishments against the Big Six, but don't expect them to be big financial penalties, points penalties, that sort of thing. It's going to be directed as much as possible, I think, against the owners and the executives who tried to force this Super League through.
OK, Rob, for the moment, thank you very much.